Most of us have seen the film Titanic. We went, the Titanic hit the iceberg. They were not aware of it. In the meantime, everyone was dining and whining. The band was playing and they were dancing. As the ship went down, they kept on dancing. There was no other option. But the band at least realized what was happening and at last played Nearer My God to Thee. I hope and I want to ensure, we all want to ensure that the globe doesn't end that way. We have discovered the iceberg. We've seen the iceberg. Now all we have to do is to avoid that iceberg. Then you can come into New York Harbor with the band playing What a Wonderful World. So this is what we have to achieve. And this is where the Climate Justice Forum is of use. This was moved at the 5th Asia Pacific UNEP regional meeting of the ministers, and now the resolution will be brought forward to UNEP. What do we seek to do? Again, going back to Titanic, there weren't sufficient boats, so everyone couldn't get away. Many of them went down. Now all we are trying to do is to ensure, in this instance, there are sufficient lifeboats for all. And this is the problem. For those who went down were not in the first class, but who went third class, like all of us. This is the first move to get everyone committed to contributing and helping. When the Transitional Committee report came in, they have not mentioned who should contribute and what they should do. For me, that is the biggest gap in this. Here we will not talk of amounts. We will have a constructive discussions. We want everyone, so that we can talk of what we are going to do, how we are going to achieve it, and at the end we'll see how we can contribute. It's not merely what countries can give. There are a lot of it which can be used, done through commercial investments, and as President Nasheed said, there are a lot of loans. The global debt is tied up to this issue. Global debt cannot be in any way separated from loss and damage. So we've got to dump everything together and then work it. Now it's easier said than done about the CJF, because once we have to move it and UNEP. We have to ensure that everyone is going to support it. Looking at the rearguard actions, that's a difficult issue. We spend more fighting in Ukraine or bombing Gaza than we are prepared to give for the loss and damage fund. That is the actual position, whether you like it or not. So we've got to change it. So first thing is to get countries to back this initiative. I'm happy that Uganda will be able to help us. And certainly, I think the non-aligned conference in Kampala is also a good place to discuss it. It's just 2 weeks before the UNEP meeting. I spoke to President Ruth, and President Ruto is willing to support it. We've spoken to the President of Maldives. There are others, Prime Minister of Pakistan. We speak with the Prime Minister of India and others. But let us all get together, those who are committed, UNEP, all of us. And I have asked not only the Minister of Environment, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs to spearhead to get this resolution passed. What do you do after that? Let's first get this passed. If it's not passed, there is no after that. So our first focus is in getting it passed and get international support. We will have the discussions. We will have plans. Now next, what do we do? After World War II, when the whole global economy was in disarray, whole of Europe economy had been destroyed, only USA was the only functioning economy together with Canada, Australia, countries like India. The US and UK came up with an institute, which I think Keynes also proposed, the International Monetary Fund, of which President Nasheed has spoken a lot. Now, I'm not going to speak of the international, but that has from that day onwards guided and been responsible for the global monetary system, good or bad, both. Now, what are we having? We are having a disaster which is going to be worse than World War II. That is going to be child's play compared to what we are going to face. But we still have no separate institution with their speciality. We haven't got that. We have UNEP here taking on the policies. We have the multilateral development banks at other end. There are other agencies. So what we have to do first is to get this together with the UNEP, the multilateral development banks, ensure that all specialists and representatives are there, not only on climate, but on monetary affairs, on debt, on trade. We bring all of them together. Because many countries haven't got their specialist knowledge. They need it. Sri Lanka didn't have it till last year. We put them together. And now we've got a group, especially thanks to President Macron. The Paris summit made us come into this picture. Then, addition to this, we have the energy specialists, the others. How do we do this? So we have to work. We have to work towards one institution. It need not, which have representatives from UNEP, UNDP if that is necessary, the multilateral development banks, and from some of the other countries to ensure, and that can certainly get connected on to the side of the specialists, the financial knowledge. On the other hand, Sri Lanka is promoting the International Climate Change University, which should be the place for studies, for research, for capacity building. So with the International Climate Change University and a common point where MDBs, UNEP, IMF can discuss and have a common strategy. If you want to, can have the EU also into it. Let's look at these institutions. The International Climate Change University, yes. Sri Lanka will go forward. We are talking with countries. We have set aside 600 acres overlooking one of our reservoirs. But it's a stakeholder university, not a Sri Lankan. There will be many who will come in. So we need these institutions. We are putting one in place for capacity building, studies and research. But you need your own institution where the international agencies will also be able to have one agreed course of action. So I don't want to speak any more at length, but to say, let us not go down the way of Titanic, because now the people who go down to look at Titanic is also dead. That let us finish our journey and let's get together. The first thing is to get the CJF passed. Once you do that, we can do the rest. Thank you.